Good evening. I'll rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Scout salute, hand over heart. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Scout sign. On my honor,
I will do my best to do my duty to be God in my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
A Scout is
Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courageous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
2. Please be seated. And welcome to the February Roundtable. We're going to start off with our membership minute here in a moment, and we'll go through some of the other announcements as we go through the process at this point. So, for those that are all geared and ready to go, obviously Klondike Derby is this weekend, so have fun, enjoy yourselves. And I'm going to go ahead and start up the membership minute.
Hello, fellow Scouters, and welcome to February's membership meeting. Yep, it's February, and you know what that means, besides Groundhog Day, that is. Whether you're with a troop or a pack, it's time to finalize your plans for Webelos to Scout transition. Hopefully that's something you've been working on all year, and those Arrow of Light Webelos are chomping at the bit to cross the bridge and move seamlessly from the pack to a troop. And even if you do work on it all year, and congrats if you do, now is the time for pack and troop leaders to be in regular contact with each other to make sure the transition goes smoothly and there are no loose ends. You might remember that last month I discussed the importance of each unit identifying a new member coordinator, a registered adult whose primary role is growing membership and making sure that new members and their parents are welcome and made to feel a part of your unit's family. Webelos to Scout transition is a big part of that job, and this is where your new member coordinator can really shine. Got questions? The council website has terrific resources to help you, with separate Webelos to Scout transition guides for packs, for troops, and for parents. And now is a great time to check those out and make sure you haven't missed anything. And don't hesitate to reach out to your district staff or commissioners if you need some help. That's what they're there for. The goal is 100% retention, and we can make it happen if we all work together. Thanks for everything you're doing to help grow our membership. And I'll see you next month with March's membership.
I threw this up here first because it's a nice segue. Obviously, most of you know who I am. My name is Carlos Anassi. I'm the district commissioner. One of the things that the commissioning staff is responsible for is to try and get all the rechargers in. So I know many of you are all done. You've gotten all the materials to Roger in the office for them to process. For that, I thank you. There are some of you, on the other hand, that need a little more help. By all means, reach out to us. We're more than here to try and help you through the process. I know some of you are waiting on clearances or waiting on other paperwork to actually just show up so you can hand it in. We understand that, but for us, the clock is ticking. You know, we got to try and get all these posted as much as possible, as soon as possible. Obviously, the deadline for us is passed, and we're trying to work through that process and get you guys all taken care of. So, if you need any help, by all means, just let us know. We're here to help you out any way we can. To Scott's point about the new member coordinator, I did see a couple of your units, that came through on the recharters, actually had new member coordinators. Kudos, that's an excellent job. The rest of you, obviously something you can work on to try and get that person to create that liaison between the two organizations. And really try and build that relationship up between your packs and your troops. It's really, really important as we go forward in that process. Packs are really hurting. They're still facing a lot of COVID-oriented issues, and they need all the help that they can possibly get. Whatever assistance the troops can provide is always good stuff as far as that part's concerned. So please try and make that relationship and try and build that relationship between those organizations wherever you possibly can. One of the things that we're going to work on, we're going to show up here next, is the camp card sale. That's gearing up again. We'll have directions on how to sign up and do things of that nature to try and get all your kids to camp as well, for both PACs and the troops in that process. What's on the agenda? So we don't have any upcoming training events that I'm aware of.
iOS and Blue in April.
iOS and Blue in April, okay? So check the council. I don't think that we're doing that that's not one of ours. May's ours. So you may end up going like to Camp Tuckahoe or something like that for one of the iOS and Blues, but if you need that training, by all means, go ahead and get it. It's excellent stuff. For those of you who are not familiar, Blue is for the PACs, okay? It's basically outdoor training for adult leaders on how to take your PACs camping. IOLS is a requirement for Scoutmasters, highly recommended for Assistant Scoutmasters. It is the training to take your troop outside. So, if you need that training, by all means, go sign up for either the April or the May events. That would be awesome. A little further out, but requires a little more planning on your own personal behalf. We have Wood Badge coming up. It won't be until spring of 23. But there's obviously a time chunk that's going to be, it's 2 weekends long for you to go ahead and do that training. So if you have any interest in that whatsoever, you will be hearing more about it repeatedly between now and when the course actually happens. But they had a nice booth at a University of Scouting this last weekend, and I was able to chat with the course director a little bit, and he's just getting his team together, but what he's told me, little snippets he's given me, sounds like an awesome course getting set up. Let's see. Zach, where'd you go, Zach? Back there! We have Klondike, don't we, Zach? Camporee, excuse me.
That's all right. Klondike's this weekend. Good to see everyone there. We also got the Spring Camporee, which is on April 22nd, 23rd, 24th. It's at McNaughton Park outside of Hummelstown. The theme's going to be Sports Palooza. And we got the Fall Camporee, which is October 21st, 22nd, 23rd. That's going to be a Maripats Camporee.
Excellent, thank you, Zach.
We have a meeting for the Spring Camporee on February 20th. We're going to send that out to everyone who is involved with Klondike. Anyone who wasn't and wants to be involved, please contact Roger.
I think he's already hit the button on that, so you should be in your inbox. Yes, Kate?
Do you have the dates for the balloon training?
For the which?
Balloon.
It's in the e-news.
You have to look at the e-news. Off the top of my head, I don't have it. But just look at the e-news you would have gotten today, I hope.
And when is it give out again? In April?
Zach, dates for the Camporee?
23rd, 24th.
So the balloon and the give out are the same weekend.
Awesome.
There's another one offered in May.
You can join Bob Mecca's Baloo one in May. So, which will probably be the Hidden Valley more than likely. Okay. So, without further ado, I'm going to let Roger hit the button on the camp card sale.
Can you run through a few things first or later?
Later, I was going to do it.
That's right. Okay.
Go ahead.
Just because you got Zach in. All right. Well, if hopefully lots of folks got to attend the camp card kickoff that was on Monday. Just gonna have a brief run through for those that were not available to that. I was thinking about camp cards on the way down here and thinking something that you guys probably already figured out, that it's in a lot of ways it's better than popcorn because it's lighter. You don't have to carry around all this product. You're getting 50% on the sale instead of the 30% or 40% that you might get on popcorn. It's a gift that keeps on giving too. When you eat a tin of popcorn, it's done. But if you go to Red Robin all year long, you can use that camp card all year long, just for $5. So I go to Red Robin a lot, I'm always using it, but there's tons of other places as well. So, you know, just like popcorn, camp cards help scouts update their Java. It's really cool. It helps scouts earn their way. You know, they learn skills through salesmanship and helping to pay their way to attend camp and other scout expenses. There's no risk in camp cards provided you follow the calendar. You get a number of cards that you take out, 50, 100, 200, 300, whatever you're taking out. As long as you return the unsold cards by a certain date, then there's no risk to you. You know, you don't get penalized in any way. You just got to follow the calendar. And it goes towards your program fee. This is the first year that we have our program fee requirements by October, so you'll get that bill in October. If you've sold enough camp cards in your pack or troop, you won't get a bill. It'll be $0. If your unit has donors for Friends of Scouting that have given enough, then that will eradicate that program fee as well as the popcorn sale that we just went through. So camp cards is a great opportunity. If you haven't participated before, you know, it definitely doesn't hurt to jump on and give it a shot and work with your scouts. There's all kinds of discounts. Our cards are Harrisburg cards. There's 4 kinds of cards, so predominantly our units go for the Harrisburg card, and it's tailored to the local areas as well. The cards sell for $5. There's some break-offs on the end for coupons, but a lot of businesses that we'll see are good all year round. Let's see, there's a lot here. I'm just trying to breeze through a lot really quickly if it seems like I'm rushing. You know, with COVID-19 and keeping scouts safe, you know, there's door to door, but there's show and sell. Sometimes it's not allowed. There's other opportunities for selling as well. It doesn't need to be in person. You know, there's a lot of online sales that you can make for camp cards as well. So looking to get everybody enrolled in the sale by February 18th. I've seen a lot of units that have signed up already. The link to sign up was in today's e-news. If you're not getting the e-news or other people in your unit aren't getting the e-news, be sure to sign up on the district. It's the district webpage on the council website. There's a button there that says join our email list. 385 people get our e-news. Love to have more. But the link is there for that. You can start selling online on March 1st. We'll have our cards at the Roundtable in a month, and you even can probably get them earlier if they're available before that at the council office. And then it all wraps up at the end of May when payments and prizes are due and cards are returned. How does it work? Your unit commits to participate in the sale. You place orders for the number of cards. If you're not sure how many, start with a small amount. You can always come back and go to the office and get more. There's always cards left over, and you can always add if you need more cards. So if you're new to the sale, you may want to start with 50 or 100 or 150. You can always get more later. You should hold a unit kickoff to get everybody in your pack or troop excited about it and educated as to what the sale is. You get your cards in a month, and then the sale starts. And then at the end of the sale, you pay your bill, which is generally half of what you've sold. So if you've sold $3,000 in camp cards, you've earned $1,500 as a unit. The link is there, but it's also in the e-news, like I said. So it's a long link to see on the screen to try to write it down. Let's see. You need to enroll by the 18th. We talked about that. So goals are important. You know, to set a goal in your unit. And you kind of want to look at it the other way too. How much money do you need to raise? And essentially, you double that, and that's how much camp cards you need to sell. You divide by $5, the cost of the card, and that's how many cards need to go out. We do send them out in bulks of 50, so you can't order like 37 cards. You have to get 50. We talked about that. There's a lot of slides, so I'm just breezing through. And then a lot of this was covered in depth on Monday. When you have your kickoff, you want to make it exciting and tell the scouts what our goal is. share the calendar and some of the cost of scouting, and that this helps pay for it. And train them how to sell and review safety processes. And there's some prizes as well, and we'll talk about that in a bit. And you decide, how you're gonna sell. I recommend all of them. Make it a mix. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Show and sell is where you're standing in front of a store and you're selling cards to passers-by. Door to door is when scouts go from house to house in your neighborhood. My family was always a fan of that one. We had a lot of success with that. Friends and family, Facebook, reaching out to those who grandma, aunts, uncles, and family friends, and online sales, which is another option, and that's a little bit later on. You return your unused cards by May 31st. They can't be broken or damaged. If you break a card, like the tabs are off, then you bought it. But as long as they're all in good shape, it's fine. The unit's responsible for paying for any cards that were damaged or not returned by May 31st. And you can keep cards and keep selling them if you want. It's on you after that, but you can't return it after that. But if you want to sell cards through the summer, they're still good for the other half of the year, and you can decide to do that. I talked about that. There is an online app as well where you can get deals to your phone, Taco Bell or different things that you can get beyond what's already printed on the card, and that's nationwide. All right, talk about that. Here in Harrisburg, we have one-time use at Dick's Sporting Goods. I think it's $10 off or $5 off of 50 or $10 off of, I forget what it is, but Dick's Sporting Goods is a tear off. Tractor Supply is one. We got one for Carnes and one for Papa John's. And then you can see on the screen, there's a number of ones there that are on the Harrisburg card that you can use over and over. You can get your oil changed a bunch of times, or get a lot of cheeseburgers at Red Robin, which I like. El Rodeo's on there, so that's pretty cool too, Papa John's. We don't care about York, Chambersburg, or Gettysburg. That was easy. Although if you live out there and you want some cards, then you can get some from out. We do have a unit that does get from one of the other ones. I think it was Troop 10 off the top of my head. Got some of York, I think, last year. So they are available if you want cards from other parts of the council. Let's see. I talked about that mobile app. All the offers are good through the end of the year, so from March to December. And there's a link there which we'll forego. So when you're traveling, this shows what your app may look like. That there are offers for this person at Sherwin-Williams and Hobby Lobby, Hannah Cleaners, Monroe Auto Service. So it tracks, your phone tracks you, knows where you are, and it says, hey, all these places near you have an app, so have an offer. So if you're dining at a place in Connecticut and you open up your phone and that place may be a deal, you could get 10% off or something like that. 50% commission, like I said, so it's real easy, 50-50. The online card sales are $250 commission per card. The online card sells for a little bit more, but you still get $250. There's a bonus commission in a unit that registers to come to our camp. If your pack is going to Tuckahoe, or if your troop is going to Tuckahoe or Hidden Valley this summer, you actually get a 60% commission. That's important. That's something that we started last year. So instead of $250 a card, you get $3 a card. So it's kind of a double bonus there. So you sign up for one of our council camps and you get more of a commission back. And if you're coming to one of our camps, the online card sales for your unit are also $3 per card. So you register for one of our camps there, like I said. That counts for Twilight Camp as well. We have Twilight Camp in Harrisburg this year. It used to be at Camp Catherine in Hershey. This year it's at Harrisburg Hunters and Anglers. So if your Cub Scout pack is coming to what they call Adventure Camp, Twilight Camp, it's synonymous, formerly Day Camp, you also qualify for that commission. Scouts attending provisionally do not count. Your whole unit needs to be signed up. That doesn't mean 100%, but most of, you know what it's like when your unit is signed up. There's not just one or two people. So for your program fee, it's 30% of your total camp card sales, not the full 50% that goes towards your program fee. It's 30%. So if you sell $1,000, your commission will be $500, but you'll get $300 taken off of your program fee that's due in October. That's if you're not coming to one of our camps. If you're coming to one of our camps, you get a little bit more out of the deal. It's you get 20. Well, yeah, 20%. I don't know if that's accurate, but sell $1,000, you'll get. Oh yeah, I see. The program fee is different, but the commission is higher. So you get the $600 commission, but the program fee is a little less. Not sure I knew that, but, so we all learn. We have our program where we will donate cards to hometown heroes and military and such. So for every camp card that's sold online, the council will donate a card to a first responder or a medical professional. Customers can also purchase a card online and choose to donate it. Okay. Incentives. For every 50 cards sold by one scout, they can choose either a gift card to the scout shop or a gift card to the trading post at Hidden Valley or Tuckahoe. Top selling scout in Keystone Capital District will receive a free week of camp this summer. So if you have a scout in your pack or troop that can get out there and really sell a lot of camp cards, mom and dad help, you get other people helping to sell camp cards, then they could very well end up with a free week at camp this summer. Somebody in the district will get that. If payment has been made for 2022 and the scout would like to redeem, then they refund it. So if you already paid and registered, you get the money back, is what it's saying. Top selling unit in each district, the pack or troop that sells the most will get a gift card for a pizza party. And gift cards will be from Papa John's, and the party can be held at your convenience, whenever you want. We talked about setting a goal. 50 cards per scout is recommended as a sales goal. So if a troop has 25 scouts, your goal is 6250, 50 cards per scout. 168 cards sold earns a scout his entire way to scout camp. And only 140 cards are needed if attending a New Birth of Freedom Council camp, because the commission is different. To go to Twilight Camp, a scout would need to sell 27 cards. For a complete uniform, sell 33 cards. Resident camp, 58 cards. So there's good ways to break it down. If you have a scout that's going to NYLT, that's 99 cards, and that's all based on if you're coming to a council camp. You train your scouts on what to say and how to do their sale. Wear uniforms while selling. You can't wear uniforms for other fundraisers, but you can for popcorn and nuts and for camp cards. So it's a sanctioned fundraiser, and they can wear their uniforms. We do have these big giant signs that you'll get. You may have seen those in years past. For your show and sell, it's a huge billboard sign, and you can set that up as well. And they're free if you register by February 18th. So if you register tonight, or if you've already registered, or at least by the 18th, you'll get that sign for free. If you want to buy more, or if you missed the deadline, it's $8 for the card, for the big card, the big sign. And we'll have those at the round table for you. I think I got through 43 slides because it says questions. Yay! Questions? Yes.
So, my son Patrick was the lead scoutmaster at the time. We do a lot of door-to-door, and he pretty much got down on the script, and he kind of did himself. Basically, my name is Patrick, Cub Scout Patrick 3, St. Catherine's, which I applied. He first took as a discount coupon card, not everybody understands what a camp card is. Discount coupon card to help him go to summer camp this year for the scouts. Before he could say no, he does the old $5. That was regular right in. me, it's a lot better than popcorn, so.
Hey, Jane.
Yeah, he kind of came up with it when we worked on it, but he kind of took it and did his own thing with it. I mean, they sell like hotcakes.
Thank you. So this is one of those two fundraisers that help on your program fee. I know everybody read every single word, and you can see that without any problem, right? Yeah. This was designed for a Zoom meeting, so I'll apologize for the font and its size. All of this content is available on the council webpage. So if you look at the resources, you can find under the fundraising portion, camp cards, and all these program details are there for you to get to if you need to, as well as your ability to sign up. Roger did put some of the information in the e-news this week that should have arrived to your inbox literally today. So you can look there for kind of the highlights part of it. I know there's a lot of content to go through in a short period of time, but any other questions or otherwise for camp cards? Excellent. So fresh from the OA meeting, Chip, our district chairman, has walked back into the room, so I'm going to haul him up here and have him do his bit. I was kind of moving things around to juggle, and then we'll have Roger finish up with his announcements.
I was told my bid has to be very, very quick tonight, so.
We got through the bulk of it already, so,
Okay, we
so
did,
you,
okay.
you have some flexibility that way.
I just want to let you know we've had some changes in the adult leadership in the district, which I wanted to pass on. We've had some people that have stepped up to new positions. Peter Von Getze is taking over, and Peter, you sneak over here. Yeah, wave your hand again. Okay, Peter's done the popcorn for a bunch of years, so you probably knew him there, but he stepped up to be the vice chair of finance. So he now has all the finance things under him: Friends of Scouting, Popcorn and Nuts, Camp Card, Hershey Breakfast, and Harrisburg Breakfast. So he's got a whole bunch on his plate. If he asks you to help, please help him, because it is a big job. Okay, we also have the advancement chairman, Jeff Conley. He's the past Scoutmaster of Troop 256, has stepped up to do that. We've had some issues a little bit on some of the Eagle Board's review and Eagle project approvals in a timely manner, and we were trying to get some of that fixed. The job is immense. Jeff has a very big background in, he was a colonel in the military, so he knows how to do organization, and he will be bringing volunteers in to help to make that happen. And then we have Michael Reeder, and he's been in this position for a little bit, but he's in charge of the activities. So all the fun stuff, which isn't always fun when you're in charge of it, but all the fun stuff he's doing. So you know, you'll see he's very, very active, obviously, this weekend, and we're real excited about that. And then we brought on some other people. Brett Bowser, I don't know if you know him, he's a younger scouter that we conned into being on the nominating committee. And Ezra Thrush, I don't know if you know, he's more from like, if you know the camp stuff, I think he was big in the Tuckahoe side, has joined our nominating committee. So we're trying to fill the positions that we have out there. We still do have major vacancies in membership, which honestly is the biggest push coming up, you know, this scouting year. I mean, obviously, you know, Cub Scouting was really had a tough years with COVID, and we want to get that stuff rebuilt. So if you know or you are interested yourself in helping in some facet, please see myself, Roger, or Carlos, and we will get you plugged in. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you, Chip. So I know I was fumbling when we first began, and I kind of held Roger up in his comments. Part of it was because I have Peter back there, he's sitting back there nice, and normally what I do during a roundtable is I kind of go around to all the vice chairs and give them an opportunity to speak. The downside, of course, is Chip hadn't made that announcement yet. So I was like, ah! But anyway, Peter, do you have any words of wisdom you want to impart or anything you want to bend somebody's arm for?
Just looking forward to the job, and hopefully we get a lot of volunteers to help us out with things. It's a crucial time in our district's history, and we've got nothing but sunshine and dry roads ahead.
Awesome! Alrighty. So my apologies to you personally for kind of leaving you out when I otherwise shouldn't have, or wouldn't have, but you can be confident that if I find you in the room, I will call on you in coming roundtables. Alrighty, so with no more else, Roger.
All right, thank you very much. So, if you are involved in a scout troop and going to Hidden Valley tomorrow, we are going to have a great time. So the weather looks like 1 p.m. in Louisville, that it will stop snowing and it will be cloudy from then on in. So traveling to Klondike won't be a problem. We have 275 people coming this weekend. It is our district's largest event. So it's going to be great. So I'm very much looking forward to that with our scout troops. Your folders are in these bins. If you've never been a Roundtable before, if you forgot, every pack has a folder in that left-hand side bin, and every troop has a folder in the right-hand side bin. In the back of both bins is a folder marked District Director. If you have anything to get to me, you can definitely just drop it in my folder. So don't forget to clean out the contents of your folder. Please do not take the actual hanging file folder. So patches are in there for Scouting for Food as well, so you want to make sure you get your patches for Scouting for Food and hand them out to the people who participated. There's a patch for every youth and for every adult that you logged in after Scouting for Food that participated. Silver Beaver nominations are in the e-news. If there's anyone that you would like to nominate for that, you have until March 1st, till the end of the month. District Awards of Merit is in the e-news as well. Same thing, if you'd like to nominate for that. The District Award of Merit is the highest award our district can bestow upon a district volunteer. And we get 3 awards to give out every year. So if we have more than 3 nominees, that's how that works. So we will make that selection with our volunteer committee. I want to stress the Fleur de Lis Award. That's also in the e-news. The point of the Fleur de Lis Award is to recognize one person in your pack or troop or crew who has helped you out and doesn't receive a thank you all that enough. Then you want to recognize them and have them come to the council recognition dinner and have an opportunity to say thank you to them. Does not need to be your scoutmaster or committee chair or cup master. Does not need to be a parent. It does not need to be anyone. It could be somebody who helps your unit, the church secretary. So keep an open mind as far as who that one person is you want to recognize. It can be your scoutmaster or committee chair or cup master. But please fill out the form. There's an email me form in the e-news. Just fill that out, and super important, make sure they show up to the council recognition dinner, which is the first Saturday in May. Am I correct in that, Carlos? First Saturday in May?
Yes.
For the council
Yes.
recognition dinner, May 8th. Is it? That'd be
I won't quote the date, but I can tell you the first Saturday in May.
Might be the second.
7th.
May 7th, so it is the first Saturday. Okay, thank you. So please make sure that they come to the council recognition dinner, and you as well, and a contingent from your pack or troop, so they can be recognized with the Fleur de Lis Award. In the e-news, Twilight Camp registration is open for your families and your packs to come. We're also looking for den chiefs and youth staff from troops. So be on the lookout for information on that, and let us know, either myself or Amy Beth or Rich, who I don't think they're in the room. Scheduling for Friends of Scouting, we're accepting dates, times, locations, if you'd be interested in having one. There isn't as much pressure as we've had in the past, but it is an opportunity for you to contribute and have your families contribute to the council, and that goes dollar for dollar against your program fee in October. So set up having a presentation is awesome, giving is optional, whatever your families feel like they'd be able to contribute to the scouting program on the council level. So we're looking for dates, times, locations this month, next month into April, and you can send them to Michael Sargent, who would have emailed most of the unit leaders, or myself, or let us know. Or let us know tonight, and we can put you on to the spreadsheet. April 21st is the Hershey Breakfast. If you're in the Hershey area and want to go for a great, awesome event, the morning of April 21st at the Hershey Lodge. We're going to be having a speaker with Janice Bratton, who's the CEO of the Hershey Trust. So that's going to be a great morning there. And our Eagle speaker is going to be Cody Rager. who is from Troop 65. So we'll get to hear Cody speak as well. So mark your calendars for that. It's a great opportunity to attend a great scouting event and support the district and the council. Same in the Harrisburg area. The Harrisburg breakfast is scheduled for June 23rd. That will again be at the Carousel Park Pavilion on City Island. That we're just getting ramped up for that, so we don't know the details of what that event will look like. But if you're from either Hershey or Harrisburg or anywhere else and want to attend one of those, we'd love to have you. Pinewood Derby is just getting off the ground, organized. If you're interested in helping on the district level for the Pinewood Derby, let myself or Keisha Moyer know. We're going to be having a meeting just to get that started. We're expecting that to take place in early April. So if your PAC and scouts want to participate in that, we certainly would love to have all PACs. That's when it'll be. Same location that it's always been, the Hershey, what's it called, the Auto Museum?
Yeah, the AACA Hershey Region building is just to the kind of the right of the museum itself.
Okay. And then the last thing I got is probably more you. I don't know if you had anything to say about
Yeah,
the
I will. I'll just go pass over it and go to your next thing.
And that's it.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes it easy enough.
That was the last thing on my list.
Ah, okay. So I've had a couple of inquiries from a couple of different scoutmasters about the Merit Badge College. So it will be in person this year. Well, it's something radically changes at this particular point in time. We've been approved by Lower Dolphin School District to hold the event at the Lower Dolphin Middle School. It will be the last Saturday in March and the first Saturday in May. I have not started recruiting instructors yet, kind of waiting for the charters to get posted and get settled in, since Roger informed me just today that a number of them have just started getting posted in significant volume. We'll probably end up doing that here shortly and bending a few arms of your instructors. So, with that said, give them the heads up as you head back to your units and say, someone's going to be calling, or at least emailing, asking you to try and volunteer. Please be generous with your time if at all possible. If the first session's kind of always in person, second session's a little more flexible depending upon what it is that the instructor's trying to do. Some of the merit badges like fire safety and the rest of them, have requirements to go to a fire hall. So they end up holding their second session somewhere else at a different time. May or may not have, it all depends. But we like to see everybody show up for that first session in that process. So that's kind of what I'm looking for from an instructor, to say that commitment to be in person on that first session, and maybe flexible on the second session depending upon what merit badge they like to teach. Obviously, I try and hit a bunch of the Eagle requireds. I kind of have a bank of ones that I'm always trying to bend arms for. And then I have the non-Eagles, which kind of float all over the place depending upon whose arm I can bend and how far I can bend it. So, if you have an instructor that you think is being really great at doing a classroom-oriented merit badge, talk to them, try and see if you can convince them to reach out to me or respond to my email to try and be an instructor for the Merit Badge College. Okay? Tradition, same things, it kind of always applies. We'll be feeding a small lunch at the Merit Badge College for both sessions. It's one fee, covers both weekends in that process. Probably at about $15. We'll kind of wait and see how all the finances work out. It might be a little bit more, a little less, probably won't be any less because of all the other fees I have to pay, but about that price point. So keep that in mind as we kind of go forward. And then, of course, as you plan your events at your individual units, please try and see what you can do to, save the date so it doesn't become overly conflicting. Sort of like our camporee and blue training. We kind of prefer not to have those things happen or have it compete with other events. Unfortunately, because of the way things work, obviously we'll be literally going from on the second session of the Merit Badge College, kind of running from it to recognition dinner. So a wonderful day of scouting all the way around in that process. So any questions on the Merit Badge College? Fantastic. Okay. For those PACs, as a function of the Merit Badge College, kind of prep your Webelos in the respect that they'll have bridged at that point in time. Okay? Have them talk to that scoutmaster they're bridging to. Have them look at a merit badge, maybe two, but try and do one at least, and see if you can find a merit badge that works for them. That's pretty straightforward. If you need some advice, have them talk to their scoutmaster who can help them out with that process. But they're absolutely welcome in that process. Even if I have to bend Roger's arm a little further to extend a route, we'll get it taken care of so that they can join as well. So please try and make them inclusive into that process as well. All right, so as we work through the process, we're also working through Friends of Scouting, okay? Normally speaking, when Roundtable, during recharters, I would have had you guys in person. We would have bent your arms for Friends of Scouting dates. We would have asked you about where you're going to camp this summer and things of that nature, and or possibly an Order of the Arrow election date. So the next gentleman I'm going to call up here immediately is responsible for both Friends of Scouting and Order of the Arrow. So you get to talk to him. Who, you? So he's the primary contact person, at least at the moment, for both your Friends of Scouting dates and your Order of the Arrow elections. So don't be surprised when he, oh, great, you wanted a Friends of Scouting? Great. Oh, I also need an OA election. So don't be surprised about that in that process. But obviously Friends of Scouting is a very important part of your program fee this year. So please consider when you're going to have that, and be cognizant of the fact there's only a few presenters. We can probably use a few more, shouldn't we? Absolutely. But I don't want to steal your thunder, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
So, did you guys do the... Yes. You already did the camp cards?
Yes.
Whoa, so I got the rest of the time tonight?
You do.
Holy cow, so I'm not ready for that. All right.
Well, I can keep speaking. I mean, that's not really a problem, generally speaking.
No. No, I can easily fill the time. So, all right, good evening, everybody. So those who don't know me, I'm Mike Sargent. I'm the Roundtable Commissioner, and as Roger said, I also head up the Friends of Scouting program for our district, as well as the OA Chapter Advisor, which I just came from that meeting. So, as Carlos mentioned, if you haven't already gotten emails from me, I'll be surprised, because I did send out at least all the unit leaders and all the committee chairs for PACs and troops for your Friends of Scouting dates. So I'm going to do a little bit with Friends of Scouting here. We're going to show the video. It's about 5 minutes or so, this year's presentation for Friends of Scouting. I'll talk briefly on that. I'm not going to do a full presentation on it tonight or anything. You guys will be getting that, enough of that at your with your pack or troop when you schedule your visit. Again, we need those dates as soon as possible, because for multiple reasons. One, so we can get them on the calendar and get the presenters scheduled to come out to see you. Hopefully it's not just falling to 2 or 3 of us. We want presenters. If you're willing to present, that's great. I actually have a PowerPoint that if I have time at the end, I can run through that briefly, or to send to everybody. If you're interested in being a presenter, what's involved with that. But again, try to get me your dates as soon as possible for your Friends of Scouting. As Carlos mentioned, this year probably more important than other years with the implementation of the program fee. Keeping in mind, again, there's multiple ways that you can take care of that fee, whether it be through your own personal fundraising. Obviously, popcorn sales counted towards it. Camp card sales are going to count towards it. And the Friends of Scouting counts towards it. But the benefit with the Friends of Scouting is it's 100% going to the council, where there's going to be some overhead and other things that come out of the popcorn sales and the camp card sales, some of those administrative fees. It's not a one-to-one. What you're selling or contributing is going straight back. For Friends of Scouting, it is. So if you donate $50 to the Friends of Scouting campaign, the $50 is going 100% to the council, and will count 100% against your program fee for the year. So because of that, I personally feel that Friends of Scouting will probably be more important this year than other years. I think we're already seeing that with a lot of units already reaching out. We've actually already had a couple presentations. Some units already jumped on it and had theirs done in January, so we're off and running with that, which is great. But again, we need to get everybody scheduled at some point, hopefully through the spring. It doesn't have to be next week. Anytime throughout the spring up through May even works. My troop, we're not even going to do ours to our May Court of Honor. But you want to definitely be trying to do these at high turnout events. So you want to be trying to do it at for cup packs. Maybe at your Blue and Gold banquet. I've come to Pinewood Derbies before. That's not necessarily the best place to do it because obviously the scouts are there and they're excited and they want to start racing cars, and the last thing that you want to have is some guy out there rattling on for 15 minutes about fundraising. So I would maybe steer away from Pinewood Derbies, but Blue and Golds are a great time to do it. PAC meetings are a great time to do it, especially the PAC meetings, just because that's an opportunity to kind of, scouts can go one direction while the parents go the other direction for the Friends of Scouting presentation. Works pretty good. So the scouts aren't sitting there getting all rowdy and antsy and stuff, again, while some guys up there talking. For troops, again, Court of Honor is going to be the best time to maybe do that. You want it where it's obviously, again, it's not just about the scouts being there. You want the parents there, you want the grandparents there, you know, individuals that are, you know, that you're trying to target that can contribute to the you know, the Friends of Scouting campaign. So that's that piece, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute here because I'm going to show the video and pass out the cards and stuff on that. On the side of Order of the Arrow, so as I mentioned, I'm also chapter advisor now, so I'm trying to schedule all the elections. We've got a good number of troops that have already submitted dates for their elections. Probably at least a third of the units have scheduled. I think another maybe 20% have said that they do not need an election this year, so they declined. So we're well over 50% already response from the troops. But you guys are probably, if you're a scoutmaster or committee chair with the troop, you probably have already gotten a couple emails from me. Those will keep coming because they're auto-generated. So if you want them to go away, please reach out and let me know when you want to have your OA election, or if you want to decline having one because you either don't have scouts eligible this year or, you know, whatever it might be. So, but again, I would encourage, and honestly, you know, I would still encourage to, you know, have somebody come out, whether it's me or, you know, eventually our chapter chief. As soon as we get somebody elected to that position, I would have somebody to come out to talk to. If you maybe you don't have anybody eligible this year because you have a younger troop, that's a perfect time to, you know, use that opportunity to inform them about what the Order of the Arrow is all about. You know, and kind of what goes on with the Order of the Arrow. So I wouldn't necessarily just decline it because, oh, we don't have anybody eligible, we're not worried about it this year. You know, take that opportunity to have somebody come out and share for 15 minutes, you know, about the order. So those are the two things that I'm looking for from all the troops, and then with the PACs also for the Friends of Scouting. So does anybody have any questions on anything so far for Friends of Scouting or OA elections?
For Friends of Scouting, so the whatever is donated goes directly 100% towards our activity fee. How about matching funds?
Yep, that's 100%
That
too.
counts 100%. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll touch a little bit. You'll see that in the brochure. We'll talk about that a little bit also about the matching funds and being able to take advantage of that, or, you know, looking at that as an opportunity. Hey, man. I'm not going to hear you back there. Sorry.
Can you remind me, what is the program fee, like how much is it for scouts?
Yeah, so the council program fee, I think, was set at $60 per scout. That is going to be based on the recharter that just happened. So that's not going to be what your numbers were back in the fall. That's based on what you rechartered as of 1/1/22. You have until, I believe, October it is, to make that payment. That way it gives you a full year cycle here of opportunities to fundraise, go through the three council fundraisers and any other fundraisers that you may, you know, benefit from. So, you know, if you've got 30 scouts in your unit, just using that as a number, and you've got, you know, $60 per, you're going to owe $1,800 for your program fee. But again, if every family comes back and donates, you know, $20 in your unit to Friends of Scouting, you've almost got it settled without having to do anything else. Maybe you had a great popcorn sale. You know, depending on how your numbers worked out for popcorn, you may already have it covered, depending on how you do with camp cards. There's some units that do very well with, you know, each of those, and some don't do well with any of those. Maybe you're going to do better with your own fundraising to help cover that cost. Okay? So the easiest way is just look at the number of units, or number of scouts that you rechartered in your unit, times 60. That's what you've got to come up with by October. Okay?
Let's say, yeah, we'll be 7 scouts. So 7 scouts times
420. Yes.
they're going to have to sell $850
Or if you do your own type of fundraiser, guys didn't get that from me, I can send it out to you guys, and if anybody else wants that as well, it's like 30-page slide PowerPoint. I can gladly send that to you. Just make sure I'll have my notepad up here. You know, jot down your email for me so that I know that I need to get that to you. But I'll send that, and that way it has all the information in there of how the different ones were calculated for popcorn, for camp cards, for obviously Friends Scouting 100%. So.
It was announced in July. Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely not new. I mean, it might be new in the sense that it's just now hitting all the units, that realization of what you've got to come up with now. But yeah, I mean, it's new in the sense that it's new for this program year, but yeah, this was all announced back last summer or last fall, so.
Are troops and packs handled together or separately?
Separately.
Can the excess of one troop be applied towards pack?
I do not think so. No.
And the example of the Friends of Scouting, kind of an example. When it goes to the troop, it goes to the pack.
Okay. So,
Go ahead, Carlos.
yeah, no, it's fine. So what'll happen is, once the charters are 100% settled, I believe the popcorn numbers have already been taken care of, you will get a statement from council saying, here's what your number is going to be. This is what you're going to have to achieve as a function of either your camp card sales or your Friends of Scouting promotion, or whatever else you do to raise the necessary funds. This was completely covered in our September roundtable here in person when we rolled out popcorn. This was a kind of a popcorn kickoff, but we also went through in detail the program fee that Michael was talking, presentation that he was talking about. So, long story short, as you know, the council's had some financial challenges over the last several years. Okay, there are many councils that have gone in different ways to try and make up that difference. One of the options that National allows is for the council to charge you up to the value of a registration on top of your registration fees. So $72, they could in turn charge you another $72 for their council operations, and you wouldn't have to worry about Friends of Scouting, you wouldn't have to worry about popcorn sales or camp cards or anything like that, right? But they're getting the money they need to operate at that particular point. What our council chose to do is to give you the ability to earn the money, right? They did that through a number of different ways. In this case, they give you the option, and this was all again rolled out when we did popcorn. We said, this popcorn sale, this fall popcorn sale we did back, is part of this program fee year, okay? So it's gonna work from now on. Popcorn sale, Friends of Scouting, and the camp cards, those three things will help pay towards your program fee that your scouts, and that membership number is the membership number January 1. Whatever you were chartered with, that's the number. What you do in spring recruitment, what you do in fall recruitment is not part of that equation. Whatever that number is, January 1. That defines the budget. Right? So now you can work that off. However you want to work that off. You can have your boys and girls run car wash after car wash. You can have them do hot dogs, whatever you want them to do. You want to have them do popcorn, you want to do camp cards, whatever works. Okay? We're not trying to dictate what it is you do. Yes, we would love you to do popcorn. Yes, we would love for you to do camp cards. It benefits all of us in that process, but we're not gonna. So, popcorn was a percentage because there's fees involved. You gotta buy product. Camp cards are the same way. We spend, the printing number is just an outstanding number. The amount of cost that council infers to print all those camp cards is just, it was amazing how much we lost in 2020 when we just took all these cards and carried them to the dumpster and threw them away. It was just astonishing the amount of money we were just literally throwing from inside the Mechanicsburg office and inside the York office, literally right to the dumpster. Okay, we're talking thousands to do the printing just so. The printing scouting, yeah, there's a little bit of cost. Yes, we print out some cards. Yes, we do a little bit of video. We've been a few arms, and we have somebody do some video work for us, and they're very generous, and they do it. We do the voiceover work, and if they charge us anything, it's a very nominal fee. In most cases, we try and get a Boy Scout, a scout or volunteer to try and do some of that work. But that's how we need to operate. What Tax Council needs to operate the two service centers and to pay the registrar that goes through all the paperwork that needs to maintain clearances and needs to do all the things they do for you in the office and worry about the email packets and all of those things. You walk into the office and say, can you do this for me? And they hit buttons and do whatever they do and make it happen. Okay? So that's what we need to do to operate. Okay? Yes? The recharter fee in its entirety goes to national. $75 per unit goes to national. The $72 per scout goes to national. The $45 per adult goes to national. All of that is national operating funds. Has nothing to do with local operations. Not a single dime of it stays local. It all transfers to the national organization, pays for all of their processing and all of the work that they do. So, we operate on a number of different things, camp cards, popcorn, so on and so forth. That's what keeps council and its operations going in a forward direction.
So there was a question, and to Jeff's point as well. So popcorn is unit by unit, and camp cards is unit by unit. But there are some donors who split their gift. We have 15 donors in our district that are $1,000 donors, and you might have one in your midst and you don't even know. So the Friends of Scouting presentation is always an opportunity to find these major donors. But 360 has a major donor, and they split their gift half between their pack and half between their troops. So you might have that option as well in Friends of Scouting to have a gift split between more than a unit.
Yep.
I appreciate the review of that.
No problem.
Bridging Arrows of Light.
Yep.
Who do they want?
So, bridging you an arrow of light, let me, before I get you into going forward so full force with that, the first thing I want to caution you out before you bridge your arrow of lights, make sure that all, and I remember, all of your pack advancements are in. Okay? The moment that youth puts in the youth application to transfer to a Scouts BSA unit, the pack can no longer post an advancement. Not a one. So keep that in mind. Yes, Chip?
Yeah, he's usually asking about where they're counted for the program.
So
Where they register January 1. Okay, whatever's on the books, January 1, that's the number.
Right,
So,
I'm not sure that was your question.
That is what I answered the question. If we should have an Arrow of Light bridge in March, and they're selling camp cards in April,
Well,
and they're paying their fees, it's just I can figure out how to do my math and get over the newsletter, but I'm not really helpful.
yeah, well, it has to do with under what auspices they're selling camp cards under. If they're selling camp cards for the troops, then it's for the troops. If they're selling camp cards for the pack. As far as an FOS contribution, it could be the timing of your FOS presentation as to what unit they're in. However, whatever unit they put on the card, if they put, we're in Troop 77, then that gift will go to Troop 77. So also important to check the cards to make sure that they put the right unit. Sometimes cup packs think they're in a troop. So,
I think probably the point was the program fee charged back to the unit is going to go back to the cup pack, not to the, even though that scout is now selling.
right, the number doesn't change after January.
I got my.
okay.
You'll lose some, you'll gain some.
Yes. And then, of course, your recruitment, whatever fundraisers you do in that fall time frame, don't count those new scouts you just recruited. Any other questions? Okay.
Okay. So real quick, I just wanted to pull this up. I'm not going through this because this was a whole hour's worth of the roundtable back in September, but this was the presentation that we had, that I put together, that basically walks through all you need to know about the upcoming program fee, including how it's calculated on the different types of fundraisers, examples of how it's going to work, so you can run right down through an example depending on what you're doing. So I've got like 30 slides there that I can share with you guys. So I threw my notepad over here with a pen. When you're on the way out, if you want a copy of this, give me your email. I'll make sure you guys get a copy of this. That way you'll have this. It's out. I mean, there's information out there too on the council website and stuff. I tried to boil it down to layman's terms and make it as easy to understand as possible. And did a whole presentation on that back in September because there were a lot of questions on this back then, and I think from the sounds of it, there still are. So I have that available that I can share with you guys. So let's see, where were we?
You gonna watch the video?
Yeah, I think that's where we were at. So let's go there. So
I forgot, I want to say something about the video. Just as Michael's pulling that up, there's 2 scouts from our district in there, so just a fun fact. So early in the video, there's a Cub Scout in a blue uniform. His complexion's a little darker. He's from Pack 36 in Harrisburg. And then there's a girl, and the resolution's a little fuzzy on her. So when you see that, that's a girl from Troop 1019 in Lingelstown. I just want to point that out. Our celebrities.
A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly.
To be friendly to others throughout your day, in school, at home.
You're helping others and you be kind to others.
To be uplifting or to do everything with a smile.
A scout is friendly. That it means to me by helping people when other people won't. Being welcoming and kind.
Courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful.
Be enthusiastic what you're doing, whether it's school, whether it's being in scouting, whether it's camping with your troop. Overall, be cheerful and enthusiastic because that allows other people to be cheerful and enthusiastic.
To be understanding somebody's emotions, feelings, and different backgrounds they could have come from. And you should treat everybody in the same way that you would want to be treated.
To have fun and play with your other scout members. Being happy, making jokes.
Thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Just be faithful to God and to follow God's footsteps and to work as hard as you can to encourage that with your fellow scouts.
Have a belief of a higher power, and having faith and respecting another's faith is important to me because I believe our faith is what gets us through some harder obstacles in life.
To believe and worship God.
And being reverent to God and respectful to God.
These are our words to live by. Thousands of scouts in the New by the Freedom Council live by these words. These words reflect values, providing a foundation that strengthens every community in our country, one scout at a time. You can provide the building blocks today for our foundation, a foundation for a brighter future.
You can assure that every scout has the foundation to grow into an adult leader through our values, the words we live by, with an investment in scouting. I ask that everyone who's watching pull out your cell phone and get ready to send a text message. I'll wait a minute until you have it, right? Okay, here's the fun part. First, in send, enter 41444. That's 41444 in send. Next, the message itself. Type NBOF, BSA, FOS altogether, and the numeric value that you wish to contribute. No $sign or decimal point is needed. Now just press send. Have you done that? Great. If so, you should have received a text message back with a link. Click on that link and complete your contribution. If you'd prefer not to make your actual payment now, you can pledge by simply filling out the card indicating the pledge amount and how you would like to be billed. After completing, tear off the card and turn it into your presenter. You may also pay through a single payment using cash, personal check, credit card, or online via the QR code on the pledge card. So how much should you give? Everyone's circumstances are different, of course, but we ask you to make a tax-deductible donation meaningful to you and your family. have some suggested giving levels with special incentives for those who contribute at those levels, including a commemorative patch for gifts of $150 or more, and custom apparel items at the $300, $500, and $1,000 levels. Donors who become Giving Society members by making a multi-year pledge receive additional recognition to include a limited edition Council shoulder patch. Please visit the Council website for the complete Friends of Scouting recognition program information. Even if you can't give at one of those levels, we ask you to contribute what you can. If every family contributed just $60, it would go a long way toward keeping the Council financially sound. Many employers offer matching gift programs that will double your charitable contribution donation to a nonprofit. Check with your Human Resources Department to see if your company participates in this program. And for a pledge at any level, donors will receive a special edition Friends of Scouting window clean. It's been a challenging year for our Scouting family, and no doubt for your family too. But better days are around the corner. And together, with your help, we'll build the foundation for a better future through the words we live by, one scout at a time. Thank you again for your support of Scouting in the New Birth of Freedom Council.
Alright, so that is this year's campaign video, and that's what I'll be showing when I come out to, or if it's one of the other presenters comes out, to your unit. In addition to that, I usually just share briefly for maybe another 5 or 10 minutes or so to just again promote the program, and then usually give out those pledge cards with it. So typically what I'll do, and again as a presenter, I try to make it more personal and try to just impress upon individuals, at least in my life, how important Scouting has been to me. I was in as a youth, earned my Hour of Light, earned my Eagle Scout. Now my son's in Scouting. We're Cub Scouts together. I was Cub Master, now Scout Master, involved in other areas. And I do this because I'm very passionate about Scouting. And I want to see the program, thrive and survive and do very well for future generations to, have that same level of enjoyment that I did as a youth, and honestly even continue to have to this day as an adult. Some of the best experiences I have are some of the outings and the camping trips and and stuff with the other families and everything. So just the Scouting program in general means a lot to me, and that's why I want to see it do well. So again, what does Scouting provide our youth with? Well, again, I personally believe that Scouting is the best year-round program, or best program in general for our youth. It's year-round, right? So I'm a huge sports fanatic. I coach my kids, soccer teams and baseball teams and stuff. But at the same time, they're 2-3 months and done. Scouting's going year-round. Scouting's keeping them engaged and giving them opportunities to be involved with all year-round. Helping them with character development, helping them with leadership development, helping them, interact with their peers, giving them, opportunities for physical development. So there's so much that's gained, totally aside from just advancing in rank or, learning a particular skill. The big thing that, again, at least in the pamphlet this year, it's not quite as detailed as other years, but it does talk on the back about where we're at as far as our numbers go. So again, keeping in mind, a couple years ago, we had over 9,000 scouts in our council. During COVID, that number dropped under 5,000. Our district was under 1,000. We were up around 1,500 at one point. We're slowly building those numbers back. We're back up, I think it says, 6,700 now, youth members. Still a long way from where we were, but we're growing. We're getting there. We're getting, the scouts back involved, and it's only going to happen if we can offer the quality program for them. So as Carlos mentioned, and big point I always want to make, because families a lot of times will ask, well, wait a minute, I gave how much money back in September or when I registered. Again, all that money is going to the national program. That money is not staying local. The only thing that's staying local out of that is $3 is going towards the council insurance fee. Everything else is going to the national program, okay? So if we want to see things thrive at the local level, it takes, the council fundraising and specifically the funds from the Friends of Scouting campaign to be able to help make that go. So that's what I just tried to impress upon people and just make them understand. don't look at this as just wasted dollars. Don't look at this as just, it's a, donation and that's it. It's a contribution. It's an investment. You're investing in your Scouts' future. You're investing in the program. And I always say, and maybe this is a little different, is Roger still in the room? I think he left. So
you walk out the back.
Okay, good. This is my chance to say, because Roger's not going to want to hear this, okay? So I'll do this real quick. He'll catch me on the way in. I personally would rather see every family contribute something, okay, even if it's only $10 or $20, than just having the one big donor of $500 or $1,000, okay? Because yeah, that's great. You've got the $1,000 donor, and you've also got one person in your unit invested in the program, So, I'd rather see every family making a commitment, and I really try to draw that out of them. That I'm not expecting everybody to write a check that night for $150. I understand that is not in every family's budget to do that, so I'm realistic about that. But I also think that, families can contribute $10, maybe they can do $20, maybe they can do $150. There are people that do $1,000 in our district, okay, yearly. It's all in what you are capable of doing and what you feel, you're being led to give to see the program continue. And that's, again, I'm not trying to guilt people with that. Maybe it isn't doable this year, and maybe you'll do it next year, and so be it. But again, I like to see the investment coming from every family in the unit. I'd rather walk out of a unit with, 7 Scouts and all 7 families gave, and they all gave $20, for $140, and just one person write the check for $150. Okay, I just look at it a little differently in that sense. So again, look at it in that regard. Look at it as that you're contributing and investing in the Scouts' future, in the future of the program. So again, the couple easy ways to do it, and if you feel led to do this tonight, you can. If you want to wait till your unit's presentation, that's fine too. People are able to fill out the cards. You can do it with the cash, the check, the credit card. You can do it simply as a bill me, okay? And I tell people that, listen, okay, I understand you maybe don't have the funds tonight, but you want to give? Great, just check on there to be billed for it, okay? And you can have it spread out over 1, 2, 4 times. Doesn't have to be, tonight. If you want to get a bill and pay it in August for $20, that's fine. You're able to do that, okay? You can do it, as Art said in the program, in the video, that you can do it, through text message, okay? And that opportunity is listed down, I believe, somewhere down there at the bottom. It was somewhere down there. Yep, on the inside, down below at the bottom of the matching gifts, it tells you how you can do it, just on your cell phone. If you want to do it that way. That number does go back and get, connected to your unit, okay? So don't, if you're thinking about this purely from the program fee, standpoint, and you're worried that, well, is my unit going to get credit for that? Yes, they will, okay? It will definitely get tied back to your unit. So, again, for anybody that does give, first thing, I kind of joke about this always, because we are Scouts and a Scout is thrifty. We still have the magnets from prior years' campaigns, so we're not going to let them go to waste, okay? And I know you're all going to come rushing up here to drop your money at me because these babies sell themselves. I know that. So I got them all over my refrigerator. My daughter plays with them. So, but for anybody that does give that night, they get one of the magnets or this year's special ones. Although I did say, Roger, I kind of a little embarrassed to advertise in these things, but they're the window clings. I personally go for the magnet. It's a little bigger, but if you can even see that I'm holding something here, they are the window clings for this year. So, but they are 22. So, if you've already got the 2020 version, you might want to, take the window cling because you got the current year. So, what's that?
Take them both.
Yeah, take them both. I have been giving both out. So, and then for anybody that makes a $150 contribution, they get the limited edition special council shoulder patch for the Friends of Scouting program. So, and then as we mentioned, there's other, donation levels where people, give a higher dollar amount. They might get, get a polo shirt, a backpack, whatever, the sweater, sweatshirt, whatever. There's other things to be had there. So, again, in the brochure, it talked about the matching gifts. So please, talk to your organization or your company that you work for. There's just a sampling of, the companies that do offer matches. So again, you contribute $50 and, your company, will match that. There's $100, towards the FOS campaign. And again, $100 towards the council program fee. So in a way, it's a little bit of free money there, coming to you. So keep that in mind. So that's all I'm really going to go over tonight on the FOS side of things. Like I said, I do have a PowerPoint that was done a couple nights ago, I think it was last week actually, for presenters, anybody that was interested in going out and assisting with presentations this year. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. I can get you the PowerPoint presentation on that. But again, it's pretty much like what I just did here. I mean, they take about 10-15 minutes. I enjoy doing them because I get to get out and see, the other units, see, some of the other leaders that I may or may not know, see the scouts, and it's usually a good time to be out there. So if anybody is interested in that, again, please let me know. So with that, I think we got through everything that we were going to go through tonight. Next month, I'm working on getting a presenter in for the March Roundtable. I believe April, we're back to a virtual council-wide roundtable, so just keep that in mind. And then May, we'll be back here in person again for the last roundtable of the program here. So we have March and May roundtables in person. April will be the virtual council-wide roundtable. So again, let me know if you want that presentation on the council program fee, or if you want the Friends of Scouting presentation. Let me know, and I'll put your email down for me, and I'll make sure I get it out to you. Chip, you wanted to maybe say something.
One thing on the Friends of Scouting.
Yep, go ahead.
You can develop somebody in your unit. I honestly think that's the most powerful way to do it. Okay, if you get up and you're the Mr. Scouting or Mrs. Scouting in the unit and say, hey, this is a great program, and this is helping to do our program fee, you're going to be a lot more effective than if Mike or I come in your unit, because they don't know us, okay? Or if you are going to have an outside person, have somebody who is definitely giving be the one who introduces the speaker, because we can say right away, thank you for your contribution, right in front of everybody. We don't say you gave $10 or $1,000, but it shows that you support what we're doing, okay? And the Friends of Scouting is very, very important. I mean, as much as this year it looks like you can do the other things, the reality is I think the Friends of Scouting part of the three things that we do in fundraising is going to be very important for almost every unit, unless you are the prima donna popcorn sellers, okay? So don't discount this, don't not do it, because it really does matter on helping. And the other thing is, as much as all these fees for our registration go to national, we need national, okay? Don't, you always feel like, well, why are they getting all the money? But we need to have that, or the scouting program doesn't survive. So, it's tough times. We know the fees have gone up, but when you look at your kids' cost, if they're playing sports or hockey, whatever, it adds up in anything they're doing. This is a good cause. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Chip. But again, on his point about the having that person make that initial contribution, like I said, we've already had a couple units have presentations this year. The very first one this year, back in mid-January, did that, where the Cup Master of that pack, in introducing me, I knew the Cup Master, when we kind of were joking around and trying to make it a light environment. And at the same time, then he came back with their units contribution, where their committee, donates a certain amount every year to the Friends of Scouting. So he made that formal presentation, of their check from their committee right from the start, just to show the commitment level that their unit has right off the bat. And again, sometimes that might motivate families to say, you know what, okay, I see this unit's really committed to the scouting movement. They're really invested in this. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to invest in it as well. So that never hurts to take that step. So, Roger.
If anyone was interested in being a Friends of Scouting presenter, we're not asking you to do 10 units. You could be an FOS presenter for just a few units, working with Michael to find the right ones, dates, times, locations. So if you're worried, I'm going to raise my hand and volunteer and they're going to get me, we're really just looking for a few presentations locally if you'd like to volunteer for that. Michael told his story. I just want to take an opportunity to just give you a moment on my story. I came from a very poor neighborhood in Rhode Island. Only child of a single mom. My mom worked in a factory making soap, and scouting just meant so much to me. I didn't play sports or get involved with other things, but I really gravitated towards scouting. And I was bullied a little bit, but then I got over it, and scouting taught me to learn to grow up and to develop character and to be a leader. I was a den chief and a senior patrol leader, and I've done some great things in scouting, since I was a scout. I've directed camp, I've gone to jamborees, so I've really personally benefited from scouting. As a father, I had a great opportunity to help lead my son's pack and get involved with their troops and what have you. But I love scouting so much, I made a career out of it. When I said, what do I want to do when I grow up? I was 14, and I found out what a district executive was. And I said, wait a minute, you get paid to do scouting? Right? Tell me more about this career. This is kind of cool. I didn't even know that somebody could be employed by the Boy Scouts. So it's something that I always wanted to do, and I've been in scouting over 40 years now, and it's just made a huge impact on me, on my family, and our lives. And I contribute to Friends of Scouting every year, my family has, and I know our district committee had a presentation at our district committee meeting, so our district committee contributes, our executive board of the council contributes, all of our staff contributes to the campaign, and I know our commissioners do too. And I just appreciate all that you do in giving your time, your talent, and your treasure to the programs of the Boy Scouts.
Thank you, Roger.
Over your course.
Okay. So we spent a lot of time on Friends of Scouting. I just do want to point out that you also have the option of adding in a camp promotion during that presentation. You can do add a little bit more time to the process and promote our summer camps. Another revenue stream for the council as well. But we also have some high quality camps in our council. We like to promote them, have you guys come to camp and enjoy those facilities. So if you need that, just mention it to Mike or to Roger when you're doing the scheduling, that you'd also like to have a camp promotion done, and we can handle that just as easily. Anything else for the good of the order? Yes?
We have 4 leaders that are craving range master training.
Range master training, awesome!
Do we have dates? I know they were working on them, or they had dates setting something up. I can't find them.
Yeah, that's not training, part of what's called a training group, but they actually have their own shooting sports team council group that does that. I don't have any dates off the top of my head as far as that. I'll try and remember to do the research and contact the right people and get you some information. If you don't hear from me within a week, email me, and then that'll trigger me to remind to hit the right people the right way.
Yeah, usually they do it during the spring fling, which is in April.
Typically.
And then we have training for our day camp people as well, or our twilight camp people. So those will be coming up, but we don't have the actual dates at the office, which have to show.
So typically the range master will be great for what you're talking about as a function of packs. For those troops that want to try and open their own ranges, in most cases you need an RSO, which is another level of training beyond range master. So you would need both at the end of the day, but just for your pack operations, all you need is a range master for the BB range and the archery range, that process. Yeah?
I have a little testimony that happened in our family. My son went to college, his name was Dan, maybe you know him from Allen. Dan, was so small. But anyway, he tried a couple years in college, working beside us. We graduated this year, and he said he took his favorite job, not in that place called Yellow Creatures Educational Center, and this center is for children who can't be in a classroom anymore, that's who doesn't want them to be in nature, and they have outdoor learning experiences, canoeing and everything, which was everything you learned in scouting.
Awesome. Awesome. Is he enjoying it?
What?
Does he enjoy it?
Yes, he loves it. He just started his first year. Yeah, he loves it.
Excellent. Excellent. I had Dan as a cub, so a little personal. Yes.
Presentation
So we have 4 troops for girls in our district. So 1019 is one of them. So we have troops in Hershey and in Middletown and all over, almost south.
Yep. So yeah, if you're a pack and you accept girls and you need to try and get contacts with the troops that handle girls, by all means, just let us know. We can easily make those connections. Alrighty, any other questions or comments? Yes?
Just one quick one again. So the activity fee, again, I think I heard 2 different things, so, but it is based on the number that rechartered with us, not because it was after the first of the year even.
Whatever.
It wasn't January 1st, it's whenever it was rechartered.
Well, technically speaking, your charter ended 12/31.
But even though it wasn't done yet.
Yeah, right.
No, but it's what's effective coming January 1,
right.
so it's your new.
Yeah, whatever your person submitted for your recharter, that's correct.
Thank you.
Yes?
Carlos, to me, if we decided to do an FOP presentation to my troop or other troops, can I go off script, so to speak, and use or relate to these troops some of my experiences and how important those experiences that I've had with scouting and how important it is, especially now, that the scouts are involved so much in their lives and things like that, and the different places I've been to and how scouts have helped in those areas and different things like that, or do I stick to a script?
So I'm going to turn this over to Michael in a second, but I'm going to answer the basic question of yes, to a point. I can sit with you for hours, Vince, and literally talk and listen to you go on for about your 50 years of experience. And you will consume all of this meeting and then some. And I'll be entertained the entire time. Okay, but...
I understand.
So, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so what I would say with that, yes, I mean, and actually that was encouraged in the presenter slideshow that I didn't get to show tonight, about making it personal. And we didn't cover it, so nobody saw it here tonight, unless you were in the meeting a couple days ago. To make it personal, if you're a presenter, make that personal connection like Roger just did, or like I was mentioning briefly about, the impact that scouting has had on you and your experiences through life, and why you're so passionate still about being involved in scouting as an adult. I would leave that at that point, and then back to kind of the script, so to speak, of what FOS is, what it contributes to, who benefits, why we do FOS, that type of stuff. But from a standpoint of just making it personal for your experiences and why you're so passionate about scouting, absolutely. I mean, make that personal connection. So,
yeah, Vince has got years of experience, and I just caution those that, well, we don't want to admit how many sometimes, that we pare it down a little bit and not get too crazy. Anything else? Thank you all for coming. See you next month.
thank you, everyone.
Have a great month. We'll see a lot of you tomorrow.